Yeah, welcome to the show. It's Ray. So, first of all, two videos in 1 week within 24 hours. That's crazy. I'm starting to feel myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Trying to get it in with these videos. Trying to get on this consistency train. But I want to make this video because I've been thinking about something and I want to share it. Right? Obviously, that's why I'm here, making videos. Man, shut up. Anyway, uh, I just been talking to a lot of people that seem to be struggling with motivation and and making success and progress and whatever, especially right now with all the craziness that's going on in the world. And I'm seeing it on YouTube. I'm seeing it on Instagram. I'm seeing it in Reddit. All type of people are just struggling and you know having thoughts of giving up and all that stuff, right? So one of the things that I used to want to be when I was younger is I wanted to be a motivational speaker, and I figured, fuck it, why not? Uh, that's something that the world needs right now. That's what a lot of people need, and that's kind of what I was want to do with this whole thing anyway. Is help people and motivate people to keep going and whatever. So, um, I figured that's another offering for the House of Shoto. Um, and I don't know if I quite explain the concept behind House of Shoto. So let me do that real quick. So the House of Shoto is my way of attacking my issue with doing just one thing. I don't like just doing one thing. Never have. I don't know if I got ADHD or what. Some people have told me I do. I ain't never been diagnosed with it. Um, I've been to psychiatrists before and everything, and I did a ADHD test, but at the time I was depressed, and they were like, the symptoms can overlap and whatever, so you might just be depressed. So let's figure that out first, and then see how this manifests. Um, I don't feel depressed right now, so I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. Anyway, I've always had an issue with just sticking to one thing because I'm so interested by life and reality and existence. So I always jump into something, and I don't always finish everything, but I'll be starting a bunch of stuff, man. Uh, like I used to play piano. I was rapping. I used to draw. Got into graffiti for a little bit. Uh, Motorcycles. I flew a plane. That was like when I was real young, though. Um, all type of stuff. I've always been interested in all type of things. For a little bit, I was gonna make knives, and then I was just like, nah, man, that's too much. But I might still do that at some point. I don't know. But um, the reason that's relevant to this story right now is House of Shoto is my idea for addressing that for my business part of me, because a part of me has always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I was like a little kid. I remember in elementary school, um, I ain't gonna tell y'all the whole story, but in elementary school, I was selling stuff. Uh, I just needed money. I wanted money. I was like, man, let me see if I could sell some stuff, man. So, doing the chocolate bar sales and everything, right? And then when I was in my 19, 20, around there. I think that's when I started my first legit business. It was called Yo Homie, and the idea was um, talking to people or helping people get introduced to other people, right? Because I was running into a lot of people that don't like to talk to people, that don't know how to talk to people, and people have always told me that I'm really good at that. And a lot of my friends are like, yo, how do you just talk to people? How do you just, wherever you go, you make friends and whoop de whoop. And I was like, man, I don't know. It's just something that happens. People like talking to me. And I like talking to people. I think people are interesting most times. So, so I decided to create Yo Homie, and the whole idea of that was, all right, if you're trying to make some business contact, or you're trying to make some friends or whatever, or you're trying to introduce or meet a specific person, but you're too afraid to go talk to that person, well, just call me and tell me, who you're trying to meet, and then I'll just go meet them. And then I'll go talk to them, chop it up with them, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll bring you into the conversation, make that introduction so you don't have to try to, make the cold introduction yourself. And it's like, all right, here you go. Here's, whoop, whoop, that. And it was, I liked the idea, but I didn't go hard enough with it because I didn't see it as, I guess, really possible or something that might be valuable to the market. So I kind of just let that one die. I had like one customer. I didn't do any marketing for real, but I had this one customer and I had one employee, one homie. And it was a cool little situation, man. It was a cool little idea, but I let that idea die, and then I did a magazine, or I was starting a magazine about girls and guns, because I love girls, I love guns, and even though there was a bunch of them, I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna do it like I'm gonna do it, so fuck it. And that's always been one of my philosophies with business in general is a lot of people, they get discouraged because they're like, oh, I can't do that because everybody's doing that. It's oversaturated and blah, 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 blah. And I try to remind people that there's hella burger places in the world. Like McDonald's, Burger King, Applebee's, Red Robin, In-N-Out, Checkers, Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, on and on and on and on and on. They all sell burgers, and they're all successful. So there's enough for everybody because everybody's not doing it the same way. So whatever your business idea is, it could be successful. You just got to put your spin on it. You just got to do your thing. So that's how I always try to talk to people into like, hey, yo, follow your dreams. I've always been that motivational friend, right? I've always been hella positive, annoyingly positive sometimes. I don't care though, because I've seen what happens when you fall into that pit of depression and despair and, oh, nothing's gonna work, and then that negativity and whatever. I seen where that path goes, and I don't like it, so I don't go down that path. I choose to see the good in any situation as much as I can, and I always try to see the light side and like how I can learn from a situation and blah, 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 right? So, with all that being said, I decided to, hold on, because I'm getting off the track. I need to start writing this shit down. But I had that business, the magazine thing, and I was gonna do that for a while, and I started calling around to places, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Cause when I first started, I was like, damn, this is gonna be hard, cause I don't got money for guns. I ain't got I don't got money for printing. I don't have a photographer. I don't have nothing. I don't got no models, nothing. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it anyway. Let's see what happens. So I started seeing what happens, and I was like, all right, the first thing I'm gonna need for Guns and Girls magazine is I'm gonna need some guns. How the hell am I gonna go get some guns? Because at this time, like I was still kind of young. I didn't even have my first gun at that point. So um, I just started calling around to local places, local gun shops. I was like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to make this magazine. Ba 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 ba. You know, this is what I'm doing. It's gonna be this is this. And I was shocked by how many gun stores were like, fuck yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to help with that. I want to be involved with that. So much so that there was this one store that I called. Uh, he was 100% on board. He was like, yo, that's an amazing idea. I have a spare room in the back that you can set up in, and you can take all the pictures in, and you can use any gun in the store for free. I was like, what? Actually, no, he didn't even say for free at first. He was like, oh, you can set it up back and take all the pictures, da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. How much will I need to pay you for that? Da, da? He's like, don't even worry about that. I was like, what? He's like, don't even worry. I just want to be a part of this. What? Okay. So I was like, all right, cool. So I had access to all the guns I could ever want, uh, and a place to shoot. And then I was like, all right, now I need a photographer. And I started reaching out to my friends, and I had this one really good friend, still love her to death. She put me in touch with this photographer, and he was, I mean, he was a decent photographer and whatever, but I didn't like his style because I didn't really get along with him for real because um, he had a thing against big girls, and I couldn't rock with that. He's like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, hell yeah, I'll help you with this project, but I don't want to shoot no fat girls. What, nigga? I love me a fat girl, nigga. What you talking about? I like all women, big women, small women, all women. So I was like, nah, I'm good on all that. Like, we good. And and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna find. Let me see if I can find some models that might be interested in it. And my thing was, I wanted models that already were interested in guns and all already use guns and comfortable with guns because a lot of people they start these magazines and they just hire girls that are hot and it's like, all right, here you go, here's a gun, and you can tell, and the gun community can tell. It's like she don't use guns. She's not holding that right. She got her finger on the trigger and all type of stuff. Um, and she's just being unsafe with it. She feels, you can see in the picture and you can feel through the picture how uncomfortable she is with the gun. So I was like, man, I'm about to solve this problem. So that was the whole basis. I ended up finding a few models that were interested and that were good with guns and all that. So yeah, the whole process was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be, and I got scared because all my life I was told and I read that starting a business is really hard, and and everything is going to be really expensive and you can't do it with no money and blah 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 blah. And I was calling around all these places. Like, I had the guns, I had the models, I had a photographer. um, I I ended up exiting out that photographer, but I found another photographer that was also like, yeah, I'm with it. I found a printing press, and they were like, yo, yes, we'll give you a discount on da 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 da, and they explained to me how that whole thing works. So I was like, oh shit, this is really all coming together fast. Like that, it took me like less than a week to get all that done. I was just calling places, and yeah, I got scared and I got busy with work and I had to move. There was a lot of drama that was going on at the time, so I ended up scrapping that idea too. And I had a few other ideas along the way, and up until now. And recently, like after I left Microsoft, I was like, all right, I need to be an entrepreneur again. I really need to be an entrepreneur because I really don't like working for people for real. Like I'm good at it if I need to, but I don't really like working for corporations, mostly because they take the soul out of everything. Like they don't treat people like people all the time, and I don't really like that. Microsoft was actually good about that, honestly. Um, Microsoft in general was good about it, but uh, my team was like a special team, so it wasn't like actual Microsoft. So I might go into that story later, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, I've worked for corporations all my life. Worked for big corporations, small corporations. I worked for all type of stuff, man. I did work for Expedia. Um, there's a few I can't talk about, but I've been through a lot of stuff, right? And every single time, I was always promoted. I was always like the go to guy, where it's like, oh, you need a problem solved, go to him. He will fix it. He will figure it out. He will fix it, no matter what. And I was super flexible. I changed my schedule if I needed to change my schedule, went above and beyond, created my own little database of knowledge and everything. So anyone that came in, anyone that was new that came in, it's like, all right, here you go. You know, because a lot of people, or a lot of the managers, they would sit people with me because they're like, all right, you want to know how to do this? Listen to him, sit with him, ask him all the questions. And obviously they didn't know what to ask and whatever, but you know, I try to set people up, you know, for success, right? So I created this little sheet of information at every job that I went to, and all of the most common issues that we had, I would just drop it on the sheet, and this is how you fix it, and blah 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 blah. And so whenever somebody was sat with me or they were new starting, I'll be like, all right, yo, so this is what it is. You know, this is what they say in training, but a lot of that's bullshit. This is what it actually is. This is how you do this, and this is this. This is going to be the most common thing that you get, and give me your information, like your Zoom, whatever we use at the place. I'm gonna send you this document. It's gonna have everything on it that you need. So when you run into an issue and if ain't nobody around to help you or whatever, just open this document up, look, because it's probably on there, because if it's a call that came through, I probably had it. And if it's something weird, especially, I threw it on this list because sometimes I forget how to solve those issues. So I want you to be able to solve them. So, sorry, man, I'll be going off on tangents. I'm getting old. Anyway, so I always like to help people, and I was always that guy. Like, and you know, I would end up being a team lead, a manager, a trainer, a coach, at basically every job that I've ever had. I've never had one where I didn't get promoted to some other higher level, even like a temp assignment or a contracting assignment where, like, matter of fact, that's how I ended up getting into Microsoft. Is I was a contractor for this other company, and the contract was strict. It was like, it's only going to be this amount of time. You're not getting hired on. Don't even think about it. And we just need you to do this. I was like, all right, cool. I did that. And then I started noticing things, and I was like, all right, let let me start telling some other people, blah blah blah. Made my sheet and helping people, doing things, doing good work, all that. And finally, like someone I didn't even know was noticing me. Like it was a manager that I never like I've talked to like fucking maybe one or two times while I was there. He hit me up. He's like, "Yo, do you want to do this elevated thing where you take on this extra responsibility?" And I was like, "Fuck it, why not?" I I I don't really like being on the phones like that, so yeah, I'll do this, and it's gonna teach me how to do something else and make me more valuable. Hell yeah, by any means, I'm trying to move up. So even in that little position, I moved up within that little bit of time frame, and I got this special position that was like once or twice a day or something like that. I did this special set of tasks, and then um, as my contract was ending, someone noticed that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you do good work. You do what we ask you to do. You don't have no disciplinary actions. You come in on time and blah 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 blah." And then you got promoted to this thing within a short amount of time. Huh? You're interesting. My friend is building this team. You interested? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm interested. What you talking about, boy? So that's how I ended up getting into Microsoft, right? Um, so again, I digress. My bad, y'all. I like to tell my stories, man. Let me get my stories out. Let me get my stories out. Don't judge me. So anyway, say all that to say, um, House of Shoto was my way of addressing that because I always love to help people. I've always been a helper and going above and beyond. And I was like what happens if I go above and beyond for myself, for my own customers? Because again, even at those businesses, like the internal staff, they would see, oh my god, you're great, you're really great at this. That's the other thing. Hold on, I'm about to go on another tangent. Hey, if you hear that, that's just know that that's gonna happen a lot. Uh, One of the things that my coworkers used to always say at every job that I went to, they would be like, "Yo, what are you doing here? You're way too smart to be working here." It always tripped me out because I never really saw myself as that smart. Uh, when I was younger, I used to have learning disability, and I used to have seizures, and I used to take this medication that that made it really hard to learn and then focus and all that stuff, right? So the doctors and all that at the time were like, oh yeah, he's always gonna be slow for his whole life, and he's always gonna have learning disability, and he's probably not gonna get past such and such grade and all this stuff, right? So my mom, like that meme, it became personal with her. She took that personal. She's like, nah, not my baby, not my boy. So she made me focus, and she got me right to the point where she taught me that if you can read, you can do anything. That's one of the most valuable things that my mom ever taught me. If you can read, you can do anything, because somewhere somebody wrote down how to do the thing that you're struggling to do. And if you can find it and you can read it and understand it, then you can figure out how to do it. And that's how I learned how to cook. That's how I learned how to do stuff with computers. A lot of what I do with computers and tech just came from me being curious and me just reading stuff. And a lot of people, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so good with computers and da da da." I'm not even really good with computers like that. I don't think so anyway. Like I'm better than the average person, and I'm like, so this is my imposter syndrome, right? Because I've worked with people that are geniuses with computers. So to me, I'm like, man, I ain't even good with computers like that. But whenever I talk to normal people, they act like I'm speaking a esoteric language and doing some type of wizardry. And I'm like, man, this easy. It's just blah blah blah, blah, blah. So, um, shit, I forgot why I was telling that story. Whatever, man. It might come back to me. It might not. Whatever. Anyway, the whole point is I've always liked to help people. I always did what I can to help people. So House of Shoto is my way of helping people and reconciling with the fact that I can't stay focused on just one thing. I gotta do everything as much as possible because I'm always gonna want to dip my toe into something else. So, um, on my journey to deciding that I want to be a millionaire, I'm like, you know what? By any means, I'm about to get it. And the best way for me to do that is to embrace who I am, what I am, and how my mind works, and how I be jumping from thing to thing. And I'm going to condense that into one business where I could just do that. And a lot of people were telling me that, oh, it's not going to work because, you got to niche down, you got to focus on just one thing, and, you're trying to do too much stuff. And it's like, well, so does Yamaha. Yamaha do everything. Yamaha do everything. There was a few like Honda. There was like all these different brands. Someone made a video about it, and they were like, "Yo, what do you do?" And it was like one of these big companies, and it's like we do motorcycles, we do cars, we do engines, we do pianos, we do just a whole list of stuff that seemingly is completely separate. And I started looking at a lot of these businesses, and a lot of businesses that are popular, that are known for one thing, that's actually how they operate too, because they are known for one thing for a certain segment of customers. But then for another segment, they're only known for one thing for this segment over here. So there's often not a lot of overlap. So Yamaha is a good example of that. For bikers, we know Yamaha motorcycles, and a lot of times that's the only thing people know Yamaha for. But then for musicians, you'll know Yamaha as, oh yeah, they make, like I used to have a Yamaha keyboard when I used to make beats when I was in high school. Just every day after school, go home, get on my keyboard, make some beats. And then there's the other segment where someone got they little buggy things. I always wanted one of those. I didn't want one. I just wanted to drive one because it looked kind of cool. But um, they have all, like, depending on what you do will determine why you know Yamaha and what they do. And that gave me kind of confidence to go on with this idea. So I created House of Shoto, and the idea is you can get everything you need at the house. You just come to the house and it has everything you need. And depending on what you need, you go to that room. That'll be like my different departments and stuff. So whatever room you go to, that'll be what you need. So I made a list of all the things that I wanted to do as far as like income streams and how to make money. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna do these videos Try to get these videos off. Maybe get some YouTube money. I don't know. Vlogs. Again, never wanted to be a creator. My thing started with House of Shoto and trying to do, the emotional support, tech support, business support, and all that, photography. I just started creating subliminals, so I'm gonna try to do that to make some money. I'm gonna try to do. I'm not trying to do. I'm gonna do real estate investing, architecture, Airbnb, everything. Books. I've already written 2 books. I'm an author now. Like, that shit is still trippy to me that I'm an author. It bugs me out that I can say that I'm an author. I'm a published author. Like, that don't even make no sense to me. Like, coming from where I came from, I didn't know that I would make it to be this age. I damn sure didn't think I'd ever write a book. I've written 2 books. Now I'm working on 2 other books, and then working on a couple of different manuals too. And it's like, damn, what? So I'm doing all these things, and all of these things are segments or rooms in the house where if you need help with these things, come to the house. I got some experience over here, here. So whenever you come to the House of Shoto, you meet with the doorman first, and doorman is gonna figure out, okay, what room do you need to go to? And I kind of think of it like John Wick, right? At that hotel, and the hotel manager and homeboy at the front desk. Damn, I can't remember his name. He R.I.P. But love that dude. But yeah, I think of it like him, where it's like you come to the front desk and it's all right. What do you need? Gold coin. All right, I got you. Go ahead and take your bag. Now we'll get this set up for you. Oh man, I ain't making no sense. My bad, Joe. I swear I don't smoke no more. I don't do nothing. I ain't drunk. I don't do nothing. I just be high on life, bro. I'm still tripping on the fact that I'm doing this in fucking Vietnam, bro. Like, my life is a trip, fool. So anyway, I say all that to say, man, I'm trying to get it by any means, and that's what I be trying to tell people, and how I'm gonna try to motivate people, and I'm hoping something in this amalgamation of craziness from this video gave you some type of motivation or whatever. I might do an actual honest to God motivational video later, but I just wanted to get off some of these thoughts because I know a lot of people are needing help and they're struggling, and then this ended up turning into like more history on House of Shoto. Like, I told y'all, man, I just be all over the place, bro. I don't like sticking with just one thing. You can see that even in this video. I don't like just sticking with one thing. So yeah, I wanna help people, and I wanna start making motivational videos. And damn, I forgot. So that's what I meant to say at the beginning, right? So I wanted to be a motivational speaker when I was younger, and when I told a couple of people that I wanted to do that, they're like, "Nah, you don't want to do that because you don't have no experience. You ain't been through nothing. You haven't done anything yet. So why is anybody going to listen to you? Plus, there's a lot of motivational speakers out there. What would make you special? What would make you stand out? And everybody's trying to do it and blah, 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 blah. So all these people talk me down on this dream, and I'll let them talk me down. And now I've been out here, and I see, yes, there's hella motivational speakers out there on YouTube and whatever, and that ain't gonna stop me though. because one, I see some of these people out there just talking, and you could tell they don't know what they talking about. They ain't never really experienced nothing. They ain't never really been through nothing for real, and they're just saying what everybody else has said. Even back then, when I was thinking about being a motivational speaker before, and these people that talked me down, they're like, "Oh, you haven't been through nothing. You don't know nothing." Da da da. Well, they didn't know my life. They didn't know what I've been through. They didn't know that I was homeless multiple times. They didn't know that I didn't have a diploma. Like I had a GED, fool. Like they didn't know nothing about me. All they knew was, oh, you're just some young kid. You're working here, and I used to hate that because people used to try to downplay my intelligence and downplay my accomplishments by talking about how young I was. And I'm like, nigga, we work at the same place. Like you're in your 30s or 40s or whatever at the time, and I'm 19, and we're already working at the same place. And I just got promoted. What the fuck are you doing with your life? If we're at the same point at this junction, and you're trying to make me feel bad and make me feel like I don't know anything. I know enough to be on your level at this young age. And I wish back then that I would have been arrogant enough to push through and just do it anyway, because there's no telling how many people I could have helped. And I have helped people along the way anyway, because that's just what I do. Whenever I see someone struggling or someone sad or whatever, I try to help them out with some advice and do whatever I can. Like a lot of times, that's how I really got into Reddit for real. Like I was, someone introduced me to Reddit. I forget exactly who, but they introduced me to Reddit, and I started to go to different communities, and I'm going through like life advice and all this other stuff, and I'm like, damn, people really out here struggling. And I think I got into Reddit when I first hit 30. So I joined this group. It's like men over 30, and I just saw all these kids that were afraid of turning 30, or these people that were struggling that had questions for people that were older. And I remembered how much it helped me to talk to older people, and they guided me into different areas and different directions by giving me good advice, and I listened to that good advice. That's what I credit a lot of my success to, and me doing what I did is people gave me good advice and I listened to it. It's kind of that simple. Like, especially if it's someone that I trusted or someone that I could tell was knowledgeable, they gave me information, I listened to it. Now, I wish I would have been a little bit more discerning for certain things, because there's a lot of stuff that I could have done that people scared me out of because they were afraid, because they didn't see any way to do it, and I didn't take that into account. But for overall, people gave me good advice, and I took it, I used it, applied it to my life, and it helped me level up. So that's what I do now. That's what I started to do on Reddit, and that's what I do now. So if you go on the Reddit, you can find me on House of Shoto there too, and I'm in the life advice group, the over 30 group, female entrepreneurs group. I'm all over the place, and whenever somebody's struggling with someone needs some help, I just try to give some support where I can, and help out where I can, because that's what the world needs. We need way more of that. People that have good information, that have good advice, and that aren't just trying to do it just to make money. Like, yeah, obviously I want to make money, and this is all part of me building my ladder up to my millionaire status, but more than anything, I just care about people. So, I wasn't able to be a motivational speaker back then. I wasn't able to. But now I feel I can, because again, if I could learn, how to how to focus in and structure my talks and everything, like I'd be up there with Gary Vee and Eric Thomas and God damn, I've been listening to so many of these dudes, man. I love them. Um, oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna be up there with them and talking to some of their people and inspiring people. And these videos. There's videos online where it's like motivational videos where it's cuts of all their different speeches. I want to have one of my speeches, one of my talks in one of those videos one day where someone's like, "Oh damn, oh yeah, that hit hard. We're gonna put that in there, and people gonna be hella motivated, and then like they're gonna be listening to this in the background. They're gonna hear my voice, and they're gonna hear what I'm talking about. They're gonna be like, damn, you know what? I'm motivated than a motherfucker now. I'm about to be a millionaire. I'm about to take over the world. I want them to feel that, partially because of me. So uh, now now that I'm almost 40, I feel like I've earned the right, and I've went through as much bullshit that I've been through, and I've experienced what I've experienced, and all that. I feel that I'm knowledgeable enough to be able to really help people. So that's going to be another part of this ladder, another room in the House of Shoto, motivational speaking. So if you got any motivational speaking gigs, hit your boy. Uh, it's funny because I met this dude in Japan that was talking about um, I forget exactly his name and like the whole structure of that conversation, but basically he was like, "Oh, damn, you might be able to come talk to our kids," because he did something with he worked at some high school or something, but that was in the States, and I don't know, yeah, whatever. Uh, he was a cool dude though. I don't remember if I got his contact information. I hope I did. If I did, I'm gonna go and talk to him at some point. Anyway, uh, he got me thinking about speaking at schools and stuff. Um, and I'm not against it, but at the same time, I don't know. Well, I was gonna say I don't know how much value that I could bring to them, because I have this idea. It was like, oh man, they're rebellious kids. They don't want to listen to nobody. But I found that that's not true. There is a lot of young people that do listen, that do care, and that do want to do better. That do want some advice, and their parents ain't giving them the advice that they need, and they ain't got no like brothers and sisters giving them good advice. Like especially young men, man, these young men are struggling, boy. These like I understand why a lot of these kids are getting off into this red pill shit and like in this hatred of women thing, and it's unfortunate and it's sad because like if they just change their position, they change their perspective just a little bit, they would get rid of a lot of that anger that they had, and they would see that it's not as bad as they think it is. Like a lot of these kids, they are talking about the friend zone and like, oh, nobody wants to date me, and it's impossible to find a girlfriend if you don't have a bunch of money. And I was like, boy, what are you talking about? Like me, look, I've never been rich ever yet. That's the next part of the journey that I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get rich. I ain't never been rich, and I had so many women, so many fucking women. I've never had an issue getting women with no money, and like I'm not even cute like that. Like you see me, I'm lightweight handsome. I ain't even really handsome like that, and like I'm kind of tall. But my thing is, the thing that always made me attractive to women is I just talk to them and be funny. Like I make them laugh, and I do things that make them comfortable. I'm not, I don't. Best best advice that I've ever gotten was from. Oh my god, I suck with names, but I love her to death. I've always loved her. This Asian woman. Uh, fuck. Well, I don't know. When I back in MySpace days, she was huge, huge, and she used to do like import tuner modeling and all that other stuff. And shit, I'm still trying to think of her name. I can't think of her name for nothing. And I know as soon as I stop this video, I'm think of it. So maybe I'll put it in the description. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. We'll see. But uh, I was following her, and she said, no matter how sexy you think a girl is, how good she looks, just remember she takes disgusting shits. She eats Taco Bell and she farts and takes smelly shits. And I was like, yo. And ever since that point, that helped me so much with women because for a while, yeah, I was that dude. I was getting put in the friend zone and like I couldn't make no progress and nothing because I'd approach a girl and I was all into these rom coms and whatever and listen to my mom and all that, and they would tell me, oh yeah, girls want this and you have to be this type of way, and basically the idea was put them on a pedestal and make them feel like a queen and all this other shit, right? And so that's what I did. I was like, all right, cool. This is the advice I'm getting from these women. Obviously, they know, and this is what all the rom coms say. It's like you got to be persistent, you got to be, square bear and all this other shit. So I did all that, and that just got me in the friend zone. And I was like, oh damn, because I would see a girl be like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna do everything for her. I'm gonna be the best guy ever. But I'm not gonna tell her that I like her. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna try to show up and be the good friend, and hopefully she'll be like, oh, he's such a good friend. He's so endearing. He's so cute. You know what? Come here. We're gonna be together now. Supposed to say that didn't happen. But that's what I see a lot of these young dudes doing now, and they think that they have to have a bunch of money to get girls. I'm like, dude, you just gotta be funny. You just gotta relax and treat them like normal fucking people. I've gotten so much further with women by just treating them like I would treat like any other homeboy. It was like, hey, yo, shut up. Like what? Like if they say something stupid, it's like, yo, that was stupid. Like don't ever say that again, bro. And just being trustworthy and not being a creep. If you're struggling with women, one thing I could tell you that again, another one of those things that helped me is when you're thinking about or when you're trying to talk to a girl that you're interested in, right? And this could go for girls too. You're talking to a guy that you're interested in. Don't think about sex when you're talking to them. Now, I know that might sound like a no-brainer, but a lot of people fuck that part up because they see this person that they're attracted to and they're like, oh my god, he's so hot, she's so hot, oh my god, I just want them in my life and all this other stuff. And they are talking to this person, but there's this weird energy that happens when you have these sexual thoughts of this person. And even if you're not saying sexual things, that energy still comes out and comes across. So when you're talking to them, that's what makes you creepy. That's what makes you feel like look like a creep and feel like a creep because you're thinking all these sexual thoughts of like, oh my god, I wanna do this to her titties and I wanna do this to and touch her here and touching and all that. and you talking to them and you trying to have a regular conversation, but that has hijacked your mind, so you can't actually think of what to say to this person, because all you could think of is, I need to say all the right things so I can get them in the bed at some point. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. I was told, like, when I talk to young men, uh, dudes that are like in their 20s and then whatever, or whatever, like they're struggling with women. One of the things I try to tell them is, before you go on a date with a woman, like if you get to the point where you get her number and you set up a date and whatever, before you go on that date, jack off. Just bust one real quick, and then go to that date. Clean yourself, and wash your hands and all that. But busting that first, and then go on that date, because that'll let you talk to this person appropriately, instead of your mind being filled with all these sexual thoughts and this sexual tension and sexual energy and whatever. You just talk to them like, again, a regular ass person, so they're more likely to reciprocate that and be more comfortable with you and all this other shit, right? So, um, damn, I really forgot why I was telling that story. I'll be doing that sometimes, man. I'll be going off them tangents and be like, yeah, why was I even telling that story? Whatever. Uh, Again, I'm just trying to help people, and hopefully that helps somebody. But, um, oh yeah, that's why. Because a lot of the young men, they need help. They think that the only way to get a woman is to have a bunch of money and to be super fit. Like, I ain't never been super fit in my life. Like, I've been kind of skinny and whatever, because I used to walk 3 hours a day and all that stuff. I ain't never had like muscles or nothing like that. Um, like, I just got my teeth kind of straight like this. Um, I used to have really fucked up teeth, but I got braces, I got Invisalign, all that. I used to have big ass glasses. I got LASIK, all that stuff. And even with fucked up teeth, glasses, and a bus pass, I still got women. Still got them. I was making like what, $10 an hour. Still had women. Women that were out of my league, women I didn't have no business talking to. I still got them. Just because, again, treat them like people, talk to them, made them laugh. So, um, I try to tell young men this, because that's why they get caught up in this like red pill shit, because they listen to the rom coms and whatever, where it's like, oh yeah, you gotta be this type of guy to get these women, and the women are like, ew, we don't. Who wrote that? We don't want that. We don't want that in real life. Ew. And then you got the other side, where it's the hyper alpha bros. It's like, you gotta get a Bugatti. You gotta have six figures and all this shit. Is like, bro, like, and not to completely say that that's not right either, because there are some women out there where that's all they care about, but that's not all women. That's that is a small segment of women. Most women will never meet a person that makes six figures. Like, just thinking about the math, and then how many people are in this world and how many women are in this world. Most people don't make six figures. Most people aren't millionaires. But there's everyone's in a fucking relationship. Well, not everyone, but there's hella relationships all over the place. You can make it work. So, if you had to be a millionaire or made six figures and be super fit to get a relationship, there wouldn't be so many fat, broke, ugly people in relationships. But there are. So what are we talking about right now? Um, so that's one of the things where I see a need that I could feel, where I could be that motivational speaker to the young men, to talk to the young men, to talk to people, to talk to young people in general. Be like, yo, man, don't give up. And old people. I spent most of my life doing uh, emotional regulation for older people. Because I always talk to older people. I've always had older friends. So that's been most of my life, right? So I've been helping people of all ages all my life. It's just what I do. So now I'm bringing this shit to YouTube. I might I might get into the Instagram thing. I'm really not trying to be a content creator like that, but goddamn 2026, it feels like if you want to have a business, you got to be some type of content creator, and you can fight against it, or you can, you know, approach the world as it is. So this is me trying to approach the world as it is. I found I found a niche. I found, where I fit in. I'm not super high guys, super alpha guy. Just, do all this, get all this to get money, or you're useless. And I'm not the super, all women are perfect and special and they can do no wrong. Like, where all the people in the middle at? That's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be in the middle, because everybody's going to one extreme or the other. I'm the dude in the cut in the middle, just like, yeah, don't be an asshole to women, but also sometimes women are assholes. So don't treat them like they're special angelic creatures all the time. Sometimes they be wrong. Sometimes they do horrible things. Like, it is what it is. They're humans. So, I'm just trying to bring some balance to the fucking internet, man. That's a big thing for me. Balance. Balance is power. And I don't know how. Well, actually, I do. Algorithms and technology and what gets clicks and all that. Like, everyone wants the highly emotional, inflammatory stuff, because that's what gets clicks, that's what gets attention. Because it's like, oh, he said this or she said this, so we're gonna fight. And that's what the algorithm rewards, because that's what people watch and all that stuff. And yeah, I ain't trying to be no content creator like that, so I can be that dude in the middle. And that's one of the reasons that I like Abba and Preach so much, because they seem like those dudes that are mostly in the middle too. Like, they have their ideas and their stances on everything, and they're not one side or the other. They're not super pro men. They're not anti man. They're not super pro woman. They're not anti woman. They're like normal people. And I think we need just more normal ass people on the internet, bro. Because all these content creators and and all those types that usually get into this type of thing, they kind of got the game messed up, man, and they forgot what real life is like and what real people are like and what real people do. So this is another offering from House of Shoto, man. I'm about to be making, along with these subliminal videos that I'm about to be posting, I'm about to be making and posting out motivational videos and shit too, to hopefully address certain things and just keep people going. Like I said, I'm trying to get in one of those motivational cut videos. I'm trying to get somebody, you know, I want to be that dude where, like, somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning woke up, they're tired of their life and they tired of their circumstances, and they listen to this video at 3 o'clock in the morning and they ready to give up and they crying and because nothing's working out and they're tired of their life and they're like, I could do better than this. And I want them to be listening to that video, and then my voice comes in. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, you can do it. Motherfucker, don't you ever give up. By any means, get it by any means. And I don't know what my motivation style is gonna be yet, but I'm gonna say something profound. I'm gonna say something profound to the motherfucker, and they're gonna be like, "Ooh, shit, that was profound as a motherfucker." And And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna be like, you know what? Because I heard his voice and I heard that profound ass motherfucking message, I believe I can do whatever I want now. So that's the goal. That's the goal with my motivational speeches. Get a profound ass message and one of these profound ass motivational edit videos. And yeah, so shit. All right, man. Look, we're coming to the end of this video, right? It's been an hour, so I can't believe I've been talking for an hour. I don't really like talking like that, which is odd. Like, you wouldn't believe that hearing me yap like this, but in real life, I don't even be talking like that. So I've been talking for an hour, and I keep running into this issue with I don't know how to end these videos. So I need your help. And I don't even, like, right now, I'm not even really talking to nobody, but if you stumble across this part of YouTube, this part of the internet, and you're like, oh shit, random black man, I'm gonna listen to everything that you say for an hour, and you get to this part of the video, I need help. How do I end these videos? Like, what would be the best way to end this video? Because my natural inclination is just be like, all right, peace, and then just turn off the video. But I feel like that may not be the right way to do it. But I also don't want to do the normal YouTube influencer things like, hey guys, thanks for your time, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. Like, I know I need to say those things, but I don't really be wanting to say those things. But sometimes you gotta do shit that you don't want to do to be successful. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's how I end it. Maybe so. Yeah, if you got any suggestions on how I can end these videos smoother and not get all awkward at the end, drop them in the comments, man. Like, let me know how do I end these videos appropriately, and then also like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, share the video, and all the other YouTube stuff, man. And go to my website, man. Tell me what you think about my website, shotoagency.com. I tried to put the link in the description of that last video, and YouTube's like, nah, we don't know you like that. So I had to do this verification thing, and I'm still waiting on the verification before they'll allow me to put a link in the description for an external page. Even though I've been on YouTube using YouTube for years, they're like, nah, we don't know if you're a bot or not. It's like, nigga, do I look like a bot? Sometimes I feel like a bot. I ain't gonna lie. So I ain't gonna be mad. I ain't gonna be mad too much because I feel like a bot sometimes. So I might be a bot. So they valid. They valid for that. Anyway, fuck, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've been trying to end this video for like 3 minutes. So yeah, man, do all the things. Drop it in the comments. Tell me how to end these videos, man. All right. Oh yeah, and if you have any suggestions, you want to know more about any part of this craziness I've been talking for the last hour, or any random thing, fucking drop that in the comments too. Let me know what you thinking about, what you want to know about. All right, peace.